efforts this week to bring UW-Madison students to the polls.
There's a lot going on between Vote Fest week, the start of early voting on campus, and the Big Ten Vote Challenge. Schmidt is here to explain why all of this matters in the upcoming election.
Well, it matters because voter turnout tends to be lowest among people between the ages of 18 and 24, or college kids. So one political science professor told me it's important to make voting a habit that people start when they're young, because once they're voters, they tend to stay voters. And that could make a difference in November.
I just turned 18 in February, so this is my first election.
Whether it's their first time,
I'm very politically involved, I always have been.
Or they've cast a ballot before.
I knew that early voting started today, so I made sure to do it.
UW-Madison students like Ellen and Bryce want to have a say in who represents them.
I'm busy on election day, I have class all day, so I wanted to make sure I had time to vote.
And they're getting a jump on it early, in between classes, weeks before the election.
Yeah, it's exciting to have a say in what's finally having a say in what's about to happen in government. And casting my vote is my way to do that.
Bryce was approached on campus by volunteers trying to get the word out. At Library Mall, Bucky could help students make a plan to vote.
So we remind them what kind of ID.
When, where, how. But a lot of them may already know the why.
Well, I think there are a lot of reasons for students to be engaged. If they are Wisconsin residents or vote in Wisconsin, we have a governor's race and a Senate race that are both pretty compelling.
Professor Barry Burden is part of the Big Ten Voting Challenge, a friendly rivalry between all 14 schools in the conference to bring students to the polls. But it may be especially important here.
From the 2012 presidential election until the 2016 presidential election, turnout on our campus fell about 4 percentage points. And that was obviously concerning and something we hope to reverse.
But at most college campuses around the country, turnout during that election actually increased. So researchers like Professor Burden are trying to understand what happened here.
So hopefully this year, with the state of politics, I think more and more people are engaged.
Hoping to keep students like Ellen coming to the polls even after they've graduated. The Big Ten Voting Challenge runs through the election on November 6th, and trophies will be awarded to the university with the highest voter turnout and the most improved turnout. Meanwhile, early voting on campus will be available Monday through Friday from now until November 2nd. So students who haven't still have time to do it.
That's very good. Thank you, Rose.
Thanks, Rose. An early